name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. I'm going to break this show into part 1 and part 2. So you're going to get 30 minutes of part 1, 30 minutes of part 2. Oh, by the way, make sure you check out the podcast. That's really important too. NetNewsNetwork.net. You're going to find all kinds of awesome talk show hosts, and they give you the truth on everything. I'm giving you the truth on this. This is why we're going to have 2 segments. 32 ways to fight inflation in 2023. We're not happy with the supply versus demand. The rising prices of everything is up the roof. It's just terrible. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, let's make a budget. Okay, now I found this article on thepennyhoarder.com. It's one of my go-to sites. They tell you the truth, okay? Make a budget. That's one of the first things you got to do. You need to make a new one every single month. The way prices are going up, supply versus demand. Sometimes you're having to pay more. Maybe the product you had been using was a cheaper brand or cheaper by the ounce or by the pound. And because of supply versus demand, you're having to pay more this month to get your dog food or to get your cat food or whatever it is that you normally are buying online. By the way, if you'll go to my link right down there at Amazon, right there, it's an Amazon.com link. You're helping us out. We definitely appreciate you doing that. But most important is when you go in and you search for an item, you're going to be able to price it by the ounce or by the pound. So if it's any kind of a grocery or anything like that, I really love that tool they have right there. And that's, again, on Amazon. Okay, make a budget. You need to do one every single month, the way things are going up in price. For all your necessary expenses and then things that you could live without. Okay, so you need that. You can pinpoint specific spending areas as well, like grocery shopping, heaven forbid, dining out, subscription services, or utilities that are potential candidates for cutting back. Okay, now, number 2, please pay down your debt. Do that, please, if at all possible. Your debt, if you got 3 credit cards, you need to get those things paid down. Just have one if you possibly can, okay? And make sure you pay it. But before you know it now, you've run up a huge bill on yourself. Make sure you pay it off before the interest rates are due. I use a Capital One Walmart card one, and it gives me rebates. I get money back on things we buy. So I like to use it for shopping at Walmart because I get, if I order it online and either it's shipped to me or we go pick it up, 5% back off of whatever. So you order $100 worth of stuff, that's $5 going back into your pocket. And you can either apply it. Now, this is the way this happens, okay? So if I have them to mail me a check for the $5, it's going to cost me $1 to mail the check, so I've only made $4. I apply it to the account. So if I've built up $20 worth, don't send me a check. It's going to be quicker anyway. Checks get lost in the mail. So I just have them going ahead and apply the credit to my credit card account. So that's an easy thing to do. Now, if I go into the store at Walmart, which I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have to use my own, check my own self out. I'm waiting for a W-2 to come from them, by the way. So if I have to check my own self out or wait in line forever, I get 2% back. To me, it's worth it. Just order it online. It's either shipped to you and you go pick it up. So that's something you can do in your credit card, okay? Or you can save all that money up, take a trip or something sometime. That'll be just found money. That's money you're getting a rebate back on. Okay, so anyway, pay down that debt. Now, if you got 3 credit cards, let's say you owe $1,000, $2,000, and $3,000. To have a little bit of celebrating time, go on ahead and knock out that $1,000 one first, okay? Then you can celebrate. Then knock out your $2,000 balance, celebrate, have a good time. And then the third one, celebrate. Don't have but one card from this point on and pay it off every couple of weeks, okay? And just don't build it up where you got to pay interest. And by the way, I'd rather have a credit card than a debit card anyway, because if somebody gets into my debit account, my bank account, they're going to have to close down my account to get this thing straightened out. Okay, if I've got a credit card and somebody just goes in, they spend money on my card, and maybe I don't find out about it for a few days and they've racked up $1,000, what happens is I get a credit immediately while they're investigating that account, okay? So that's important information as well. Now, If you've done something fraudulent yourself and you're pretending somebody's used it, they will apply that back to your account. Okay, so when they've finished with their investigating. Okay, so that, just be fair on this stuff. Pay down the debt. Okay, number 3, share resources with neighbors. This is an awesome thing to do right here. They used to call it bartering back in the day. I've heard my grandparents talking about that. They bartered in the Deep Depression. We may wind up getting to that again. Okay, so these are tools that you can use later on. Use your brain for this. Share resources with neighbors. Getting to know your neighbors can be helpful and pleasant. We got some awesome neighbors who live across the street from us. Roger and Mary. Roger Ritchie, by the way, his parents owned the house he's living in when we were all kids. My grandparents owned this one. So it's so funny that Raj is living in the house across the street and I'm in this one. We're bringing back the old times again. So while it's nice to have somebody to chat with over the fence, we got awesome neighbors back there. Neighbors can also be a great resource in a pinch. So if you need a cup of flour or a couple of eggs, I'm going to go see Raj and Mary. I don't have time to go to the store. Don't waste the gas to go to the supermarket. The neighbor may have some food to spare. Now make sure you pay them back. Or you can barter. So this is another good. So you need a cup of flour, a couple of eggs. Don't waste the gas. Okay, the neighbors may have it. You want a night out? Trade out babysitting. Of course, we don't have kids, and Roger and Mary don't have kids either. But if you've got a neighbor who has kids, make sure you trade out Saturday nights or Friday nights, whenever you do your date night. Keep up your date night. It keeps that marriage strong, okay? So let's just pretend Mary and them had a couple of kids and Phil and I have a couple of kids. I'm going to call Roger and Mary and I'm going to say, hey guys, if y'all want to go on date night, let's swap it out every other weekend, okay? So that way we don't have to pay babysitting. Babysitting costs a small fortune these days. I'm sure they'd agree to that if we all had kids. Tackling an unusual home renovation project. Don't buy an expensive tool if your neighbor's willing to let you borrow theirs, but don't break it. If you break it, buy them another one. Okay, that's the fair thing to do. So if you break their tool, buy another one. And also, you be handy. So they're going to need to borrow things too. Make sure you're going to help them. You're going to repay it, okay? Otherwise, when you come over and want to borrow their drill, they're going to look at you and go, you tore up my other one, remember? And you never replenished it, so now I don't have a drill. Be fair about these things. Number 4, become a vegan. You can do that. Food prices nearly up 11%. Ooh, more than that now. This was written a couple of months ago. Outpacing most other areas of rising inflation, meat's actually not on the highest increase. It's about 8%, but dairy products have surpassed 15%. Ridiculous. The solution, embrace the vegan lifestyle. Or you can look for specials like I do. Most of us probably don't want to give up the meat and cheese completely, but by reducing the amount we consume, try Meatless Mondays. Yeah. I don't look real excited about that, do I? We can reduce our grocery bills. Yeah, we sure can. You know something? Buy your meat locally. Buy it locally. And we buy from our pastor and his wife, and they have a cattle farm. And it's Don and Judy, and I'm going to tell you what, the best meat ever possible that you can get from them. It's like the absolute best meat. I'm going to give you some more information about that in just a few minutes. So let's go on down about number 5, saving money on produce. High prices are actually out there. I don't like it. On meat and dairy. And like we just said just a few seconds ago, the average price of fruits and vegetables is currently more than 9%, which is ridiculous. But if Food Pyramid taught us anything, it's that fruits and vegetables are important. So how can you buy produce when the inflation threatens the buying power? Produce frozen and canned products to avoid food waste. You know, if you're going to buy like 10 pounds of strawberries because they're on sale, you're not saving any money if they rot before you can get to them. You need to freeze them. That's what I do sometimes. I have, in a pinch, I've raised my own now, but before we did, I would get a good buy on maybe strawberries. And I'd buy like a bunch of packs of them. And then what I would do is freeze them, put them in bags, freeze them first, at least an hour, okay, and then put them in bags so that you can get out about 4 or 5 if that's all you want for your cereal in the morning, and put them back in the freezer. But don't let them just sit in the refrigerator and rot, or you can share them with your neighbors if you want to do that. So purchase frozen and canned products to avoid food waste. And then buy only fresh when it's in season. That's another important deal right there as well. Buy in bulk. Buying in bulk can actually save you a whole lot of money as long as you'll use the items before they go bad. Okay, focus on items like meat that you can freeze, frozen foods, and non-food items like diapers and paper towels. Now, when you buy in bulk, you're going to make fewer runs to the grocery store. It's a great way to cut down on fuel cost as well. Absolutely. Here's a pro tip. Pay attention to the cost per unit, which is what I'm telling you about. When you buy things from Amazon, you'll see how much it's going to cost you per ounce, per pound, or whatever. And you can actually save money that way. Now, make sure you check it out, okay? Because sometimes they'll give you the price. This is what some of the folks on Walmart and whatever will do. They'll have it per pound and then per ounce. Sometimes you think buying the bigger one is going to save you money. Sometimes buying the smaller is going to save you money. I like it when it's a smaller one. That way I don't open the bag of the chips or whatever before they need to be. So make sure you check that out as well. Make sure you cook what you got in your pantry. Absolutely. Another way to beat inflation at grocery stores is don't go every single week. I don't like to shop anyway. The only time I like to shop is when I go to, say, Shepherd's Cove thrift shop, and I can go to the thrift shop and get some good deals. Now, your routine might include a weekly trip to the supermarket just to stock up on food, okay? But you might have enough in your fridge and pantry to last you a lot longer. So for 2023, try the Pantry Challenge once a month to see if you can cut back on grocery shopping. And there are some essentials that you can actually shop for. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to go into a commercial. Let's go ahead and do this one more before we go into the break. Meal prep. Okay, so having a busy schedule can be tempting to rely on the drive-through, which it takes forever. I told Phyllis I can actually cook it now instead of going through a drive-through at lunch or take out dinner, but eating out is any form, it can be pretty pricey. Set aside an hour every week to prep meals for yourself using inexpensive foods that you have around the house. And don't be intimidated if you're not great in the kitchen. Okay, so there are things you can cook up, like why buy frozen biscuits when you can do your own frozen biscuits? That's what I do. I just use my favorite recipe for biscuits. I'll go ahead and put them on a cookie sheet, put them in the freezer. I do them, each individual biscuit. Put it in the freezer for at least an hour, a couple hours. It's not going to hurt anything. Break them apart, put them in the bag. Cost me just a few cents to do. Otherwise, if I buy them already frozen, I'm spending a lot more money. Okay, let's go ahead and cut into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. Also, make sure you check out the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net, netnewsnetwork.net. Make sure you do that. Another way to save money is to buy generic brands. Absolutely. Do you realize some of your national brand canned foods, we'll just say, and then also your store brands are made in the same facility? Yeah, in the same manufacturing facility. So name brands have slick marketing campaigns and fun mascots to tempt us to buy, but now you got to pay for that, okay? You're paying for the advertising to do that. Often store brands offer the same quality, but a much, much lower price. Shopping generic is one of the best ways I know of to beat inflation. Let's give you a tip on this. So while store brands are usually cheaper, special campaigns may mean you'll save money on a name brand during a promotion or a sale. Yeah, if you have a bent store, bent can store anywhere in your area, or where you can buy foods at a reduced price, that's a good place to do. I save a lot of money doing that. However, check on the expiration date, because some of those can have like a 2-year expiration date. Now you can go beyond the expiration date, but I wouldn't go past 2 years on it. Here's the trick, okay? Open the can. If it has any kind of a weird odor to it, throw it away. Okay, you don't need it. Okay? All right, now take pictures of your receipt. I've looked over this, and I think this is pretty cool right here. Download apps like Ibotta or Fetch to earn extra cash when you shop. Let's dig into this a little bit. Though you won't get rich off the programs, you can save a few bucks back when you shop at certain stores and submit a photo of your receipt. Let's do that. Okay, number 11, use coupons. Now, when you're using coupons, make sure now that you keep them in, say, like a file, because if you're unorganized, people behind you in the checkout counter are going to get so ticked off at you because you're taking forever finding the coupon to say 50 cents on canned soup or whatever. So make sure you keep them organized. I know people who are really into this. We used to, when we lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, there was a grocery store that we used to shop at. It's called Harris Teeter. And Harris Teeter had some super, like they would have double and triple coupon days. And so I learned from some of my friends in Charlotte how to save coupons. And man, I want to tell you what, it's a pretty sophisticated system some of these girls had and guys. And one lady in particular, I remember her name was Audrey. And Audrey kept, it was kind of like what you would keep pictures in. And so she had everything by category, like if it was bread, if it was cereal, if it was canned goods, if it was whatever. She had actually little tabs. And so she would see something that would be like, you could buy 2, get 1 free or whatever like that. Or a coupon where you could say 50 cents, it was triple coupon day. She would wind up getting $1.50 savings. So look on those, have a sophisticated little system. Now you can also use something that looks kind of like this tiny little accordion file. And this is where all the meats are kept. This is for the cereals. This is for the whatever you're getting, ketchup or whatever, condiments if you want to call it that. And so that's how I kept mine. There were times I'd go to Harris Teeter on triple coupon day, and I would wind up having to go buy a pack of gum or something, or a candy bar or something, because they couldn't give you any money back. And they had to have a little bit of a positive on the cash register system. So I'd go, here's a Snickers bar. So we'd put that in there and she'd say, there you go. So a lot of folks did that on triple coupon day. I wish we did stuff like that around here. That's another thing I miss about living in Charlotte. That was a pretty cool thing. Using your coupons. Now make sure you keep up with expiration dates on them too, because sometimes you get them in the newspaper and it may say ends in 2 weeks. Make sure, because they can't use them, and it's not the fault of your checkout person, okay? They had nothing to do with it. Okay. Also, right here it says many grocery chains offer digital coupons when you join their loyalty programs. And I'll tell you something else. Some of the bigger restaurants, if you'll get on their app, like your birthday, they may say you get a free burger or something like that. Now, I take care of you on birthday and anniversary days. You know that. So we also have the birthday club, and we also have this, just another way for you to save money eating out. So we have the birthday club, we have the anniversary club, and date night club, and so many coupons I'm giving away. There's one of them right there, Santa Fe. And so we have some good ones. Okay, I've still got time. Let's talk about skip delivery food. Okay, skip food delivery. Grocery delivery is convenient, and food delivery services like Uber and DoorDash are tempting when it's cold outside. But these apps make the cost of groceries and takeout way more expensive. So instead, find grocery stores with free curbside pickup and drive to restaurants to get your takeout order. Easy to do. And like the one I was telling you about with my Capital One card right there with Walmart, you see that it's their Capital One. It's easy for us. I don't like shopping anyway. I hate going to a department store looking around. First of all, I'm going to buy more than I want to buy. There goes my bill. I'll walk by and see that Snickers bar and go, it's only $1.50, and I'll throw it in there. Just do it online. Do it online and use the curbside service, or they can ship it to you. And it's free delivery, by the way. Well, let's see. You got to spend more than $35, I think, which is something easy to do these days. to get free delivery. Okay, focus on your health. Yeah, that's another good way you can do it. While food and gas are the top two areas affected by inflation, healthcare costs are on the rise too. So McKinsey estimates U.S. healthcare expenses will be $370 billion higher in 2027 due to inflation. Now, as it turns out, fighting inflation also means fighting off the common cold. Okay, save money on doctor's visits and cold medicine by eating healthy, working out, getting enough sleep, and especially if you have a weakened immune system. I have to do that because I have asthma, so I have to make sure I eat right. Exercising actually helps as well. By the way, if you have a garden, you're going to get all the exercise you can possibly think of that you need. You're going to be bending over, and you're going to find that you got muscles in your legs that you didn't know that you had, and then you just keep at it, and then pretty soon, when you're gardening, you're not even going to feel it. You're going to be able to do all the gardening you want to do, health-wise as well. Shop around for car insurance. Do that. When's the last time you shopped for car insurance? Chances are that there's a better deal out there. You might be paying for coverage that you don't need. You need to do an analysis. Maybe you're paying a higher rate because you had a whole bunch of traffic tickets several years ago, but the time has went by and you're still paying for that. You need to go on ahead and check out with your car insurance company, okay? Tell them you're shopping around. Sometimes you call them and tell them that you're shopping around, and guess what? They start looking, okay? Because they don't want you to go anywhere else. So with your insurance companies, what's happening is they're making a residual every time, for as long as you stay with them, okay? And so make sure that you call them every once in a while and say, I'm thinking about going somewhere else. Okay, this is a pro tip. This is something else. You can actually save money on car insurance if you bundle it with your home owners or your rental insurance. Another thing, if you're renting a place, you really do need renter's insurance. Okay, so check into that as well. And I'll tell you something we tagged on right now. You can get it pretty cheap in Alabama. I'm constantly thinking about earthquakes for some reason. I don't know. I'm thinking of end times, I guess, where there are earthquakes in diverse places. And I'm going to tell you the way this country is being run right now. It's a possibility, a big possibility. So we do have earthquake insurance, and it doesn't cost much right now to get it, but if you wait later, it might cost you more. Okay, start having some of those crazy earthquakes, who knows what's going to happen. Don't buy a new car yet. A couple of reasons I don't want to buy a new car yet. Because of ongoing supply chain issues, new car prices are expected to stay high going into 2023. JP Morgan estimates that car prices may decrease later in 2023. So put off buying a new car just a little bit longer if you can. If you need a vehicle now, buy a used car. While used car prices did spike in early 2022, they're already kind of going down in price. So the Inflation Reduction Act extended the $7,500 EV tax credit for new electric vehicles. I'm still up in the air about that one. If you can afford a new EV at the time, at the home charging infrastructure could pay off actually in tax credits and fuel costs. But now you need to really investigate before you buy an electric car. Investigate replacement price cost, because you have to have a new battery. Even though batteries for gas fuel cars are getting up high, it's nowhere near what one's going to cost you for an electric car. So please do some investigation before you do anything. Okay, please do. All right, I've said my spiel on that. I told you I'll tell you the truth. I'm sorry. This is the way it goes. It's common sense. Okay, my name is Donna, and I'm your host on The Edge. And you can find us on IC Radio. That's icradio.media, inchristradio.media. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Check out the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. You can find us that way, netnewsnetwork.net. Again, thank you so much for watching The Apple of My Eye, and I love being with you every day. Hope you have a great rest of the day.